Hello MacroHard community, welcome back. So as long as the project is concerned, I'm still working on the core contracts. So that being said, today we are going to combine the two biggest buzzwords, which are machine learning and blockchains. The question is, how exactly can we combine these two technologies and create a meaningful product? So let's try to break this problem. What exactly is the use of blockchains? So the primary use case of blockchain is money, anything that has to do with money. Specifically, blockchains serve as a platform to incentivize communities for their good behavior. Now, on the other hand, machine learning has a very open topic which is under research at this moment, and it is called federated machine learning. So, the objective behind federated machine learning is very straightforward. So, we know that in machine learning there is a model which needs data to train, and as the model trains, it can predict using the trained data. So for example, if you give this model a picture of 1,000 monkeys eating ice cream, then the model will learn that what is a monkey eating an ice cream. And the next time if you give this model an image, this model will classify whether this image consists of a monkey eating an ice cream or not. So we can see that in order to train a model, it needs a large amount of data. And the more data it has, the better it is. Now, one challenge to provide a lot of data to a machine learning model is that if we provide data to the model, then our privacy can be leaked. For example, it will be very suspicious if I provide all of my web browser history and all of my chats and everything to Google, for example. Because at the end of the day, I can't trust a central institution with all of my data. Not because they are a bad actor, but maybe they can become central points of failure. If there is a hack in Google's server, then all of the personal data of all the users can be compromised. So federated machine learning solves this problem. So in this technique, a central entity, for example Google, will have a common model which will learn with the user's data, but the users won't share their data. Instead, what will happen is that the central entity, which is Google, will give the model to me for some time, and then I will use my data to train this model and then give this trained model back to Google. And then if there is another user, let us say Alice, then this model will go to Alice and Alice will train this model with her data and give the new model back. Now this way, me and Alice don't have to share my data to Google, and at the same time Google gets its model trained with my and Alice's data. There is still one missing piece to this puzzle. That is, what incentivizes me to train the model which is there with Google? Because by doing this, Google is becoming richer by having an even better model, but what do I get in return? So here comes the solution using blockchains. Now in this theoretical scenario, Google can create a token such that every time I train the model with my data, I earn some tokens. Similarly, when Alice trains the common model with her data, then she earns certain tokens. And at the same time, if someone uses this model, for example, if Uber uses this model to learn about my preferences or to learn about the trending food going on in Toronto, then Uber has to pay for this model by purchasing those common tokens. And this is how the token gets their value. And this is how, folks, we can combine blockchain with machine learning, and it will be pretty cool if this actually comes up in future. However, there are some challenges in implementing this idea. And the biggest challenge is that when Google gives me their model, then how does Google know that I have actually trained the model? Because I can also take the model and train it with some garbage data and then give the model back to Google. So this is one challenge that remains to be solved, and if this is solved, then more or less this idea seems to be doable. And if this is actually implemented, then this can create a pretty interesting collective consciousness model which will know what's happening in this entire world. For example, what is trending, what are people liking these days, and stuff like that. And it will be a pretty cool future. Okay, so let's see what happens. So that's all for today. If you find this video pretty useful and authentic, then press the like button. And if you are new to MacroHard, then subscribe to this channel and become part of this community where we are building the next economy. See you all guys tomorrow, and until then, bye bye.